My brother, my sister, if you are watching this right now, it is not by accident. The delays, the heartbreaks, the doors that stay closed, the people who suddenly leave your life, they are not random. These are signs, quiet whispers from Allah, gently redirecting your heart towards something greater. And if you stay with me until the end, you will begin to see what your heart has been feeling all along, but your eyes could never understand. When Allah removes what you thought you couldn't live without, there are times in life when Allah takes away something you thought you could never live without it. It could be a person you loved so deeply, or a dream you built your entire life around, or a plan you were so sure would finally make you happy. You prayed for it with all your heart. You cried for it in sujood. You whispered its name in every dua. You believed with every part of you that this was your path. And then one day, it's gone. The person leaves without explanation. The dream collapses. The plan falls apart before your eyes. And you sit there, numb, asking yourself the same question over and over again. Why, Ya Allah? Why would you let me hope so much? Only to take it all away. You can't sleep. You stare at the ceiling in the quiet of the night. Your heart heavy with words you can't even say aloud. You replay every memory, every prayer, every promise you thought was meant to last forever, and nothing makes sense. You feel abandoned. You feel forgotten. You feel like life has no meaning anymore. But my dear brother, my dear sister, listen carefully. Allah does not take from you to break you. He does not close a door to leave you stranded in the dark. He does not test you because He enjoys watching you struggle. When He removes something, it is never out of cruelty. It is always out of love. You cannot see it right now, but He can. He knows the road ahead. He knows what your heart cannot yet understand. He knows the weight that blessing would have carried. He knows the pain it would have brought later. Pain you wouldn't have been able to bear, and so He removes it. Sometimes gently, sometimes suddenly, but always perfectly. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it feels unfair. Yes, it makes you cry until you have no strength left. But this heartbreak, this loss, this disappointment is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a better one. Because Allah's taking isn't punishment, it's redirection. He is not depriving you, He is saving you. You thought this person would complete you. You thought this dream would heal you. You thought this plan would bring you peace. But Allah knows they would have broken you, so He takes it away. Not because you were unworthy, but because you were loved. This is His mercy in disguise. And I know right now it doesn't feel like mercy. I know it feels like your world is collapsing. I know your chest feels heavy and your mind refuses to quiet down. I know it feels like your duas are bouncing off the walls. But listen carefully. Allah is closer to you now than you've ever been to anyone. He hears the words you cannot speak. He knows the tears you cry silently when no one is watching. He knows the ache you hide behind a smile. And whoever relies upon Allah, He is sufficient for him. Quran 65:3. Sufficient. Do you know what that means? It means if you lose everything but you still have Allah, you haven't lost anything at all. Because the one who writes your story does not make mistakes. One day you will look back at this very moment and whisper through tears, Alhamdulillah, Ya Allah, you knew what I didn't. One day you will understand why this had to happen, and you will see that what broke you was actually building you. You will realize that what you lost was never meant to carry your happiness, and you will see how perfectly Allah replaced it, how beautifully He rewrote the chapter you thought was ruined forever. But until that day comes, hold on, cry if you need to, fall into sujood if your heart feels too heavy, pour your pain into your prayers and let your tears speak the words your lips cannot. Tell Him, Ya Allah, I don't understand this, but I trust You, because every no from Allah is actually a yes to something better. Every ending He writes is the start of a more beautiful beginning. You are not being punished. You are being redirected. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. Trust the author of your story. Trust the one who sees the pages you haven't yet turned. Trust the one who loves you more than anyone ever could. Because when Allah removes something, He never leaves you empty-handed. He takes away what was temporary to make space for what is eternal. And one day, when the right person, the right opportunity, the right blessing finally arrives, You will thank Him for every unanswered dua. You will whisper into the quiet of the night with tears of relief running down your face, Ya Allah, you knew what I didn't, and you loved me enough to save me from myself. Sometimes you don't realize it, but the thing you are holding on to so tightly was the very thing holding you back. You begged Allah to make it stay. You prayed to keep it. You asked for signs, and every sign pointed towards holding on, but still Allah took it away. And you think to yourself, did I do something wrong? Was my dua not accepted? Am I being punished? No, my dear, you are not being punished. You are being protected. Allah saw conversations you didn't hear. He witnessed intentions you couldn't see. He knows the future you cannot imagine. And because He loves you, He took it away. Even when you begged Him to let it stay, that's not cruelty, that's mercy. But we don't see it right now, because right now, all we feel is pain. And that's okay. Allah never asked you to pretend you're not hurting. He never asked you to hide your tears. He never asked you to be strong all the time. He only asked you to turn back to Him. You see, the tears you're shedding right now, they are not falling in vain. Every drop is being counted. Every sigh is being heard. Every ache in your chest is known to the one who created you. When your heart breaks, Allah is the one who holds its pieces. When your plans collapse, Allah is the one writing something better in silence. When you lose what you thought you couldn't live without, Allah is the one replacing it with something you didn't even know you needed. Indeed, with hardship comes ease. Quran 94:6. That's not a promise for later. That's a reality right now. Ease doesn't always come in the form of answers. Sometimes ease comes in the form of protection. Sometimes ease comes in the form of redirection. Sometimes ease comes as Allah saying, trust me, I know where I'm taking you. And maybe that's why Allah removed it so suddenly. Because if He allowed it to stay, you would keep pouring your heart into something that was quietly pulling you away from Him. He takes it away. So that one day, when you finally receive what's truly written for you, you will whisper with gratitude, Ya Allah, you knew best. Right now it feels like you've lost everything. But my dear, you haven't lost Allah. And if you still have Him, you haven't lost anything at all. Because the one who takes is the same one who gives. And when Allah gives it, He gives in ways the world cannot take away. So don't rush the healing. Don't fight the redirection. Don't demand answers before their time. One day you'll wake up and realize the pain has softened. The weight on your chest has lifted. The sleepless nights have passed. And you'll look back at the moment that broke you. And you will smile softly because you'll finally see how Allah was protecting you all along. And whoever relies upon Allah, He is sufficient for him. In Quran 65:3. Sufficient, more than enough, always. You're not forgotten, you're not abandoned, you're being redirected. And the place Allah is taking you is better than anything you're walking away from. So breathe, trust Him, because one day you will thank Him for every unanswered dua, for every door that stayed closed, for every person who walked away, and for every heartbreak that led you back to Him. When Allah pulls you into isolation before elevation, there comes a time in life when Allah hides you. It's strange. You don't plan for it. You don't ask for it. But suddenly you find yourself alone. Friends drift away. People stop calling. Conversations fade. Plans fall apart. And you're left sitting in silence, wondering what you did wrong. You scroll through your phone at night, seeing everyone laughing, moving forward, building their lives, while you sit in your room feeling invisible. And in that quiet, a thought begins to whisper inside you, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I've been forgotten. Maybe Allah has abandoned me. But my dear Annette, listen closely. Allah hides you, not to abandon you, but to prepare you. He takes you away from the noise of people because He needs you to finally hear His voice. He closes doors to gatherings so He can open doors to guidance. He removes you from circles where you were accepted by people but slowly losing yourself to bring you into a space where you can rediscover who you are with Him. This isolation you fear so much is not rejection, it's realignment. Because where Allah is taking you next, not everyone can come. You see, there are chapters of your life that are meant to be written in silence, chapters where no one is clapping for you, no one is calling your name, no one even notices your growth. And that's exactly the point. Allah doesn't need the world to see you yet. He wants to build you quietly. far from eyes that would misunderstand you, judge you, or pull you back into who you used to be. He hides you because your purpose is too sacred to be shaped by noise. And yes, it hurts. It hurts when friends leave without explanation. It hurts when family doesn't understand you anymore. It hurts when the people you thought would walk forever beside you simply stop showing up. But my dear, what if their departure is not a punishment but a promotion? What if Allah is removing people because they cannot handle the version of you He's preparing to reveal? Not everyone is meant to witness your becoming. Not everyone is designed to walk into your next chapter. Sometimes Allah must separate you so He can elevate you. Look closely at the silence you're living in right now. This isn't emptiness, and this is a sacred workshop. Here Allah strips away distractions. Here He heals wounds you've been ignoring. Here He strengthens your heart and polishes your soul. Here He breaks habits that would have destroyed you later. Here He whispers to you in ways you could never have heard if the noise of life was still surrounding you. This stillness is where you are being rebuilt. And when He's finished with you, you won't recognize yourself. Do you know why elevation requires isolation? Because before Allah places you in positions of influence, He must purify your intentions. Before He trusts you with responsibility, He must strengthen your patience. Before He reveals your purpose, He must first reveal you to yourself. And that takes time. That takes silence, and that takes distance from everything that was once distracting you from Him. Do not lose hope, nor fall into despair, for you will be superior if you are truly believers. Quran 3:139. You think you're being left behind, but you are being prepared ahead of time, and you think everyone is moving forward without you. But Allah is slowing you down, so you don't arrive unprepared to a place He designed for your healed self. You think this loneliness is a curse, but this is where your strength is forged. Cry if you must. Let the tears fall into your pillow at night. Tell Allah what no one else knows. Speak to Him in the quiet of your sujood. Say, Ya Allah, I don't understand why you've hidden me, but I trust you because this isn't the end of your story. This is the chapter where Allah turns you into someone the next chapter needs. And when it's time, He will reveal you. And when He does, it'll make sense why He hid you. You'll understand why He made people leave. You'll understand why certain plans failed. You'll understand why He pulled you into silence when everyone else was moving loud and fast, because He wasn't ignoring you. He was upgrading you. You see, sometimes Allah hides you because what He's preparing you for cannot be built in public. If the world saw you now, they would misunderstand you. They would judge the process. They would interfere with the journey. So Allah covers you, not to erase you, not to ignore you, but to protect you while He rebuilds you quietly. Because growth, real growth, happens in silence. Do you know why a seed grows underground first? Because if it tried to bloom before its roots were strong, the first storm would destroy it. You are that seed. Right now, Allah is planting you deeper. He's strengthening your roots. He's preparing you for a season where you'll rise so beautifully that no storm will ever uproot you again. But I know this season feels lonely. I know what it's like to check your phone and see no missed calls, to open your messages and find no one reaching out, to wonder if anyone even thinks of you anymore. I know how it feels to sit in a quiet room and hear your own thoughts screaming louder than the silence around you. And I know how it feels to ask Allah in sujood, Ya Allah, where is everyone? Why did you make them leave? But maybe this time the better question is, Ya Allah, what are you teaching me here? Because this isolation you're fearing is actually Allah's invitation. An invitation to return to Him, an invitation to finally face the parts of you you've been hiding behind people, an invitation to rediscover your worth. Not through someone's validation, but through His nearness. Sometimes Allah separates you from people because He doesn't want you depending on them anymore. He wants you to know what it feels like to depend entirely on Him, to find strength in His remembrance, to find peace in His words, to find company in His presence. Because when you taste this kind of closeness with Allah, you'll never fear being alone again. Indeed, Allah is with those who are patient. Quran 2:153, patience. That's what this season is really about. Not passive waiting and not sitting in sadness, but trusting that Allah's timing is more perfect than your own plans. Trusting that while you feel stuck, He is moving mountains behind the scenes. trusting that while people may forget you, the one who wrote your name on the pages of destiny never does. And when the time is right, He will bring back exactly what belongs to you. Not the fake friendships that drained you quietly, not the opportunities that would have harmed you later, not the people who were only passing lessons, but the ones who are written to walk with you into the next chapter. The doors meant to open only when you're ready. The blessings designed specifically for your heart. One day you'll understand why He hid you. One day you'll look back and whisper, "What? Ya Allah, this silence wasn't punishment. It was your protection, because the people He removed were not capable of holding the healed version of you. The opportunities He delayed were not worthy of the soul He's shaping you into. The dreams He paused were too small for the destiny He has written for you. You haven't been left behind, you've been set apart." There's a difference. Being left behind means forgotten, and being set apart means prepared. And right now you are being prepared for blessings that require this version of you to be built first. So take this silence and make it sacred. Fill it with Quran, fill it with dhikr, fill it with long, unfiltered conversations with Allah. Cry to Him, complain to Him, tell Him every thought you've buried inside, and you'll notice something beautiful. That the more time you spend with Allah, the less lonely you feel, because when He is enough for you, nothing else needs to be. And whoever relies upon Allah, He is sufficient for him. Quran 65:3. My brother, my sister, this is not the end, this is the preparation. You are being rebuilt in private for a future you cannot yet imagine. So don't rush it, don't fight it, don't resent it. Because one day when Allah finally reveals you, you'll understand why He hid you. You'll understand why the silence was necessary. You'll understand why the people had to leave. You'll understand why the doors stayed closed. And when that day comes, your heart will whisper softly with tears of gratitude, Alhamdulillah, and Ya Allah, you never abandoned me. You were building me. When Allah quietly upgrades your heart, there comes a time in your life when something begins to change inside you. You can't explain it to anyone. You can't even explain it to yourself. Things you once loved suddenly lose their shine. Things you once chased endlessly don't excite you anymore. The same distractions you used to crave feel empty now. And deep down you wonder, what's happening to me? You see your friends still drawn to the same desires, still living for the same things, and still finding happiness where you no longer do. And you start questioning yourself, why don't I feel the same anymore? Am I losing myself? No, my dear, you are not losing yourself. You are finding yourself. This is Allah quietly upgrading your heart. It doesn't happen with loud signs. It doesn't arrive with announcements. It comes softly like dawn breaking into the night, without anyone noticing at first. Slowly, gently, Allah begins to remove the weight of what was never meant to fulfill you. You start letting go of things you once thought you couldn't live without. Not because you're forcing yourself to, but because your heart simply no longer feels drawn to them. This is not weakness, this is not boredom, this is Allah guiding you. There are times in life when you will outgrow the very things you once begged Him for. The relationship you thought would complete you no longer holds meaning. The lifestyle you once dreamed of no longer feels important. The plans you built your entire life around suddenly feel too small for you. And it's confusing. It's unsettling. It makes you wonder who you are becoming. But this is the beauty of divine transformation. Allah is removing your old self, not to leave you empty, but to make space for who He has always destined you to be. Have you noticed how some sins that once tempted you so strongly now feel hollow? How the same habits you used to fall into so easily don't even pull at your heart anymore. That's not you becoming different. That's your soul being cleansed by the one who knows exactly what you need. It's Allah protecting you from desires that would have drained you slowly. It's Allah reshaping your heart to crave what brings you closer to Him. This is a gift, a mercy, a quiet miracle unfolding within you. But I know sometimes it feels lonely. When your heart begins to shift, you may no longer fit where you used to belong. The conversations you once enjoyed feel empty now. The places you once found comfort in don't feel the same anymore. You begin to drift away, not because you stopped caring, but because your soul is moving somewhere else. And while the world around you stays the same, inside you, everything is changing. At first it's uncomfortable, you question yourself, you wonder why you're not like before. You even feel guilty for not feeling drawn to the same people, the same habits, the same pleasures. But what if this is Allah's love in disguise? What if this discomfort is proof that your heart is healing? Indeed, Allah loves those who constantly turn back to Him, and He loves those who purify themselves. Quran 2:222. Do you know what that means? Every time you outgrow an old desire, it's a sign your heart is being polished. Every time something sinful loses its grip on you, it's a sign Allah is cleansing you quietly. Every time you feel detached from distractions you once thought you needed, it's a sign Allah is preparing you for something higher. This is not an accident, this is transformation. It's not easy though, because while Allah upgrades your heart, He also tests your patience. You may feel stuck between two versions of yourself, the old you, who craved the world, and the new you, who craves something deeper. It's like being in between two doors, one closing and the other not yet open. That's why it feels uncomfortable. That's why it feels lonely sometimes. But trust this, you are exactly where Allah wants you to be. And one day the confusion will fade. One day you'll wake up and your heart will feel lighter. Your soul will breathe deeper. Your prayers will feel softer. Your connection with Allah will feel stronger, because what He's doing now in silence will one day bloom in ways that you can't yet imagine. Right now it feels slow. It feels quiet. It feels hidden. But just like a seed underground, your heart is being nurtured where no one can see. And when Allah finally allows it to bloom, you'll realize why the old you had to fade away. You'll realize why your old desires stopped pulling you. You'll realize why He emptied your hands before placing something greater in them. And whoever relies upon Allah, He is sufficient for him. Quran 65:3. He's enough, always enough. The habits you're losing, they were never meant to hold you. The people drifting away, they weren't meant to stay for this version of you. The desires fading from your heart, they were distractions disguised as comfort. Allah is removing them gently so He can give you something better, something purer, something eternal. Sometimes Allah changes your heart before He changes your life. He begins inside you quietly, gently, secretly, without anyone around you even noticing. And it can feel confusing. You'll wake up one day and realize the things that once kept you awake at night don't matter anymore. The people you thought you needed don't hold the same space in your heart now. The desires that once consumed you no longer feel worth chasing. And in those moments you'll wonder if something's wrong with you. But my dear, nothing is wrong with you. Everything is right with you. This is Allah softening your heart so it no longer clings to what was never meant to last. There are things you used to beg Allah for that you don't even remember today. Do you know why? Because sometimes the most beautiful answer to your dua is not Allah giving you what you asked for, but changing your heart so you no longer want it. That's mercy, that's love, that's divine protection. And yes, sometimes this transformation feels heavy, because when Allah upgrades your heart, He detaches you from things you thought you couldn't live without. He pulls you away from circles you thought you belonged to. He removes habits you thought defined who you were. It's not easy. Letting go never is. But He's removing the old version of you to make space for someone greater, someone you were always meant to become. Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is within themselves. In Quran 13:11, change begins here, inside, silently. It's not loud. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't announce itself to the world. Real change is quiet, and yet it shakes your entire being. Because when Allah begins to guide your heart, you will never crave the same way again. Maybe that's why you feel restless sometimes. You used to find comfort in temporary pleasures, but now they leave you feeling empty. You used to drown your pain in distractions, but now the distractions don't work anymore. You used to chase love in all the wrong places, but now your heart longs for something deeper, something purer, something eternal. This restlessness isn't punishment, it's an awakening. Allah is showing you that what you were chasing was never going to fill you. He's emptying your heart so He can fill it with something far greater. His remembrance, His light, His nearness. And as He upgrades your heart, you'll start noticing little changes. Your prayers feel softer. Your du'as feel more honest. You talk less to people, but more to Him. You worry less about who likes you and more about whether Allah is pleased with you. This is transformation. It's slow, it's quiet, but it's real. And yes, sometimes it makes you feel alone, because as your heart grows, you'll naturally drift away from people, places, and habits that no longer align with the person you're becoming. Not because you're better than anyone, not because you stopped caring, but because Allah is taking you somewhere. Not everyone around you is ready to go. He's preparing you for blessings that require a healed version of you. And He found you lost and guided you. Quran 93:7. This guidance is subtle. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens slowly, layer by layer, moment by moment. Every time you choose to let go of something harmful, your heart becomes lighter. Every time you resist what once tempted you, your soul grows stronger. Every time you turn back to Him after slipping, your heart gets softer. This is how Allah rebuilds you, not in a single moment, but over countless quiet moments that no one else ever sees. One day you'll wake up and realize how far you've come. You'll look back at the old you and wonder how you ever found happiness in the things that used to consume you. You'll smile softly and whisper through tears, Alhamdulillah, Ya Allah, you were healing me all along. Right now you may not fully understand it. You may still miss the old version of you. You may feel torn between who you were and who you're becoming. But trust this, Allah never removes anything from your heart without replacing it with something better. The desires He's fading inside you are being replaced with longing for Him. The attachments He's breaking are being replaced with peace. The emptiness you feel now will one day be filled with a love and purpose that this world cannot give. And whoever relies upon Allah, He is sufficient for him. Quran 65:3. My dear, your heart is being rewritten by the one who created it. Be patient with yourself. Be gentle with your journey, and trust that Allah's upgrades always come with His protection, His wisdom, and His perfect timing. One day you will look back at this quiet transformation and realize it was the greatest gift Allah ever gave you. When every door you knock on stays closed. There are moments in life when you try everything and nothing works. You knock on every door, you chase every opportunity, you pour your heart into your plans, you pray every night with tears streaming down your face, but still, the doors stay closed. And slowly that heavy whisper enters your heart. Maybe I'm cursed. Maybe Allah is angry with me. Maybe I'm just not good enough. You start blaming yourself for everything that's falling apart. You start comparing your life to everyone around you. You see others moving forward while you remain stuck watching doors open for everyone except you. And you ask silently over and over again, why, Ya Allah? Why does nothing ever work for me? But my dear brother, my dear sister, listen carefully. Sometimes Allah closes doors because what's behind them is not meant for you. He hears conversations you didn't hear. He sees paths you cannot see. He knows the pain those doors would lead you to. If they open too soon, it feels like rejection now. But one day you will understand that it was protection all along. But perhaps you hate a thing and it is good for you. And perhaps you love a thing and it is bad for you. Allah knows while you do not know. Quran 2:216. You see, we plan based on what we know, but Allah plans based on what we don't. You're asking for what you think will make you happy, while He's preparing what He knows will fulfill your soul. And sometimes the only way to protect you from settling for less than what's written for you is to keep every wrong door locked, no matter how much you cry in front of it. I know it hurts. I know how it feels to give your everything to something and still watch it slip away. I know how it feels to see the life you dreamed of shatter before your eyes. I know how it feels to sit in sujood with trembling hands begging Allah to make just one door open, and yet it stays closed and it feels heavy, it feels unfair, it feels endless. But my dear, what you call delays are often divine alignments. What you see as failure is often Allah saving you from harm you cannot yet see. Sometimes He doesn't give you what you want because He's preparing you to hold something greater. The blessing you're asking for right now might crush you if it arrives too soon. The relationship you're begging to keep might break you later in ways you don't expect. The job you're dreaming about might take you further from Him, even if it brings you closer to wealth. You don't know, but Allah knows. And He loves you too much to give you something that would harm your heart, your soul, or your akhirah. Think about it. When a child cries for something harmful, a loving parent doesn't give it to them, no matter how much they beg. Not because they want to see them suffer, but because they want to see them safe. This is how Allah loves you. He withholds what you think you need because He knows it would harm you later. He delays your plans because He's writing something better than anything you asked for. And maybe this is why it feels like your life is standing still, because Allah knows you're not ready yet. Because He wants to build your strength first. Because He wants to heal wounds you've been ignoring. Because He wants to soften your heart before giving you what you're asking for. He doesn't want you to arrive unprepared to a place your healed self is meant to stand. Indeed, Allah loves those who trust in Him. Quran 3:159. Every closed door is a silent whisper from your Rabb. Trust me, I know what you don't. And one day when the right door opens effortlessly, you'll understand why the others never did. You'll stand in front of it with tears in your eyes and whisper softly, Ya Allah, you were protecting me all along. Right now you feel delayed, but you are not delayed. You are being aligned. Allah hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't ignored your du'as. He hasn't turned away from you. Every prayer you've whispered, every tear you've shed, every hope you've carried quietly in your chest has been heard. The answer is on its way, but it'll arrive when the timing is perfect, not when your impatience demands it. Sometimes Allah holds back your plans because He wants to teach you how to lean on Him completely. Sometimes He blocks what you wanted, so you'll turn back to Him in desperation. So you'll discover the sweetness of talking to Him when no one else is listening. Sometimes He breaks your plans to fix your heart. And this silence you're living through right now, it's not punishment, it's preparation. The doors that are closed today are clearing the path for doors you don't even know exist yet. And when they open, you'll thank Him for every unanswered dua. And whoever relies upon Allah, He is sufficient for him. Quran 65:3. My brother, my sister, you haven't been rejected, you've been redirected. You haven't been abandoned, you've been chosen. One day the pain of every closed door will fade, and all you'll see is how perfectly Allah wrote your story. Sometimes you don't notice it, but Allah closes one door because He wants to guide you to another one. You would never have chosen on your own. You cry for the door you wanted. You beg Him to open it. You wait outside it, knocking until your hands feel weak, but nothing happens. And one night, as you lie awake staring at the ceiling, you whisper through trembling lips, Ya Allah, why won't you let this happen for me? And in that moment of heartbreak, your Rabb is closer to you than you've ever been to anyone. He hears every word your tongue can't form. He knows the ache in your chest before you can even name it. He counts every tear before it leaves your eye. You are seen, you are known, you are loved, even when the doors stay closed. Indeed, with hardship comes ease. Quran 94:6. Ease doesn't always mean getting what you asked for. Sometimes ease is Allah keeping you safe from what you thought you wanted. Because the truth is, not every open door is a blessing. Some doors lead to heartbreak, but they look beautiful on the outside. Some doors promise comfort, but carry storms on the inside. Some doors seem perfect now, but they hide pain you couldn't bear later. And Allah knows. Allah always knows. So He keeps those doors locked, not to hurt you, but to protect you. Think about this. If He had given you everything you wanted, exactly when you wanted it, you would have stopped searching for Him. You would have fallen in love with the gift and forgotten the giver. You would have built your life around something temporary while neglecting the one who is eternal. But Allah loves you too much to let you lose Him. So sometimes He lets the doors stay shut to guide you back to the only door that always remains open. The door to Him. You don't see it now, but one day you will. One day you will look back at the very door you're crying for today, and you'll whisper softly, Alhamdulillah, it never opened. Because you'll see what was behind it. You'll see the pain, the chaos, the heartbreak you were saved from, and you'll fall into sujood, weeping not from pain this time, but from gratitude. It may be that you dislike a thing which is good for you, and it may be that you love a thing which is bad for you. Allah knows while you do not know. Quran 2:216. There's so much you don't see right now. The timing, the bigger picture, the way Allah is moving pieces behind the curtain while you're questioning why nothing makes sense. But just because you can't see His plan doesn't mean there isn't one. Just because the door stays closed doesn't mean you've been forgotten. Every unanswered dua is answered in a way that protects your soul. Every delay is aligning you with blessings you haven't even imagined yet. Every rejection is redirection towards something far better. And when the right door opens, it won't require you to beg. It won't leave you confused. It won't drain you. It won't force you to lose yourself to keep it. It will come gently. It will arrive effortlessly. And it will feel right in a way your soul will recognize instantly, because what's written for you does not need to be chased. Until that day comes, keep knocking, but also keep trusting. Tell Allah what your heart longs for, but surrender to what He writes for you. Say to Him, not, Ya Allah, if it's good for me, make it easy and bless it for me. And if it's not, then replace it with something better and make my heart content with your decree. This is what true tawakkul looks like. You plan, you try, you hope, but you trust His wisdom more than your own desires. And whoever puts their trust in Allah, He will be enough for them. Quran 65:3. My dear, you are not behind it. You are not forgotten. You are exactly where Allah wants you to be. The doors that remain closed today are the same doors that you will thank Him for tomorrow. And one day when the right one finally opens, you'll whisper softly with tears of gratitude running down your cheeks, Ya Allah, you never rejected me. You were always protecting me. When Allah delays your plans to align you with destiny, there are times in life when you thought by now you'd be somewhere else. You had plans, dreams, timelines. By this age, you thought you'd be married. By this year, you thought you'd have your career settled. By this season, you thought your life would finally feel complete. But here you are, and nothing looks the way you imagined. You've prayed, you've worked hard, you've done everything right, and yet the doors you wanted most stay closed. And in the quiet moments when no one's around, you whisper through trembling lips, Ya Allah, why is everything taking so long? But my dear, listen carefully. Delays are not denials, and they are divine alignments. When Allah delays your plans, it is not because He has forgotten you. It is because He is preparing you. Indeed, Allah does not burden a soul beyond what it can bear. Quran 2:86. If He hasn't given it yet, it's because He knows you are not ready to hold it yet. Not because you are weak, not because you are unworthy, but because the blessing He has written for you requires a stronger, wiser, healed version of you. Sometimes Allah delays what you want to protect you from what you don't see. The marriage you're begging for might lead to heartbreak if it comes too soon. The job you're dreaming about might pull you away from Him if He gives it before your faith is strong enough to handle it. The wealth you're praying for might make you forget the one who provides it. And Allah loves you too much to let you walk into blessings that would destroy you unprepared. Right now you're frustrated, you feel stuck. You see others moving forward while your life feels paused. But don't mistake the pause for punishment. This delay is sacred. It is the space where Allah is shaping you quietly, away from the noise, away from the rush, away from everything that would make you settle for less than what's written for you. You see, your timing is built on desire, but Allah's timing is built on wisdom. You want it now because you think you're ready, but Allah knows that the story He's writing for you needs time to unfold perfectly. If He gives it too early, it won't last. If He gives it too late, you'll break before you get there. So He gives it exactly when your soul, your heart, and your destiny are ready to carry it. And it may be that you dislike a thing which is good for you, and you love a thing which is bad for you. Allah knows while you do not know. You may say, Quran 2:216. One day you will look back and understand why every delay was necessary. You'll see how every closed door protected you from something you didn't even know was coming. You'll realize that the timing you thought was late was actually perfect all along. And you'll whisper through tears, Alhamdulillah, Ya Allah, you knew better. But I know right now it feels heavy. You're tired of waiting. You're tired of trying. You're tired of believing when nothing around you seems to change. And that's okay. You're allowed to feel this way. But in your waiting, don't lose hope. Because sometimes the longer Allah makes you wait, the greater the blessing He is preparing. When Allah delays it, He is not just arranging blessings for you, He is arranging you for your blessings. He is polishing your character, healing your wounds, strengthening your faith, teaching you patience, humility, and trust. Because what's written for you is too precious to be held by the person you are right now. You're becoming the person who can carry it. So be patient. Indeed, the promise of Allah is true. Quran 30:60. Patience is not passive. Patience is preparation. It is saying, Ya Allah, I trust you even when I don't understand. I believe in your timing, even when it breaks my heart. I surrender to your wisdom, even when my plans fall apart. This is tawakkul, this is faith, this is love. Right now, you are standing in the middle of a story that hasn't fully unfolded yet. Don't judge the ending by the chapter you're in. The pain you feel now and is shaping the strength you'll need later. The tears you shed now are watering seeds you can't yet see. The prayers you whisper now are being stored in ways you'll one day thank Allah for. Indeed, with hardship comes ease. Quran 94:6. One day the ease will arrive. One day the doors will open. And when they do, you'll understand why Allah made you wait. You'll understand why He didn't give it sooner. You'll see how perfectly He aligned every step, every delay, every heartbreak, every prayer to bring you to a place better than you ever imagined. Sometimes Allah slows you down because what's ahead of you is not ready yet. You think you're waiting on your blessings, but sometimes your blessings are waiting on you. You see, Allah is not just preparing things for you. He's preparing you for the things He has written. Maybe you're praying for marriage, but the person written for you is still becoming the person you need them to be. Maybe you're begging for a career breakthrough, but the opportunity Allah has prepared for you is still being built behind the scenes. Maybe you're asking for something today that only the future version of you will know how to carry. This isn't punishment, this is precision, this is divine timing. Indeed, Allah's command is always executed. Quran 33:38. Nothing you are waiting for is slipping away from you. Not a single blessing written for you will ever pass you by. If it hasn't come yet, it's because Allah is holding it for the perfect moment. A moment when your heart is ready, your soul is steady, and your destiny is aligned. But I know waiting feels heavy. It hurts to watch others get what you've been praying for. It hurts to see doors open for everyone else while you're still knocking on the same one. And sometimes you sit alone at night scrolling through endless images of people smiling, getting married and starting families, building their dreams, and you whisper quietly into the dark, Ya Allah, when is it my turn? Listen carefully, my dear. Your turn is coming, but Allah loves you too much to give it to you before it's time, because what arrives too early can break you. A marriage that comes before your heart has healed will only deepen your wounds. A blessing that comes before you've built patience can turn into a test you're not ready for. Wealth that comes before you've built humility can destroy your soul before it saves your life. Allah knows. He always knows. That's why He delays. Not because He wants you to suffer, but because He wants you to receive your blessings at the perfect time when they will grow you, not break you. Think about rain. When clouds are heavy, they hold their water until the earth is ready to receive it. Too early, and the soil won't absorb it. Too late, and the land will dry. So the rain falls exactly when it's meant to. Not a moment sooner, not a second later. Your blessings are like that rain. They will pour when your heart and your destiny are ready to receive them. And it is He who sends down the rain after they had despaired and spreads His mercy. Quran 42:28. Right now you might feel like nothing is happening. You're praying, but your du'as feel unanswered. You're planning, but your efforts seem wasted. You're waiting, but the silence grows louder every day. But silence is not absence. This is the chapter where Allah is arranging things that you can't yet see. Every delay has meaning. Every pause is purposeful. Every unanswered dua is shaping the story behind the curtain. One day you'll look back at this very season and realize the heartbreaks you cried over were Allah's redirection. The delays you hated were Allah's protection. The unanswered du'as you thought were ignored were Allah saving you from yourself. And you'll whisper softly with tears running down your cheeks, Alhamdulillah, Ya Allah, you knew best all along. So be gentle with yourself. Stop comparing your timeline to others. Stop assuming you're behind. Stop thinking your life is stuck because it doesn't look like theirs. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are exactly on time for the story Allah is writing for you. Indeed, the promise of Allah is true. Quran 30:60. One day the doors will open. Not one, not two, but all of them, all at once. And when they do, you'll realize why it had to take this long. You'll see how perfectly Allah aligned the people, the opportunities and the timing to bring everything together in a way you could never have imagined. And on that day, you'll whisper the words you couldn't feel today. It was worth the wait. Until then, breathe, be patient, but also be present. Keep planting your seeds, even if you can't see the garden yet. Keep praying, even if the silence feels endless. Keep trusting, even when the delays don't make sense. Because every moment of waiting is shaping you quietly. And when the blessing finally comes, you'll realize Allah wasn't delaying you, He was aligning you. When Allah removes the wrong people from your path, there are moments in life when people you thought would stay forever suddenly leave. Friends you trusted, family you leaned on, people you built your heart around, one by one they drift away. And no matter how hard you try to hold on, you can't stop it. It feels unfair, it feels painful, it feels like your heart is being rewritten without your permission. You sit alone thinking about the conversations that ended, the promises that broke, the bonds that faded quietly into silence. And deep down, a whisper grows louder. Was I not enough? Did I do something wrong? Why does everyone always leave? But my dear, listen carefully. Sometimes Allah removes people from your path, not because you failed them, but because they can no longer walk where He's taking you. Do not grieve over what has escaped you, nor over what Allah has decreed. Quran 57:23. He knows what you don't. He hears conversations you didn't hear. He sees intentions you couldn't see. He witnesses hearts in ways you never will. And because He loves you, He protects you. Even when it breaks you first, you think losing them is punishment. But what if it's protection? What if Allah saw them pulling you away from who you were meant to become? What if He saw heartbreak ahead? That your heart was too fragile to survive? What if their absence, is the very space He needs to bring the right people in? Right now, it feels like rejection. But one day you will look back and whisper softly, Alhamdulillah, Ya Allah, you knew what I didn't. Because you'll realize some people are lessons, not lifetimes. Some are chapters, not the entire book. Some are anchors, and Allah removes them because He wants you to fly. Perhaps you dislike something while it is good for you. Quran 2:216. I know it hurts, I know how it feels to scroll through old messages you can't delete. I know how it feels to miss voices that once filled your days, but now leave your calls unanswered. I know how it feels to sit with a smile on your face, pretending you're fine, while your chest quietly aches from the weight of unspoken memories. But my dear, you are not forgotten. You are being protected. You see, not everyone is meant to walk into your next chapter. Some people were only sent to teach you something temporary, how to love, how to forgive, how to grow, how to let go. And once their purpose in your story is fulfilled, Allah writes them out. Gently, quietly, perfectly. You can fight it if you want. You can keep knocking on doors He's already locked. But know this, when Allah removes someone, keeping them will never bring you peace. Because what's meant for you stays, and what's not, it is removed, no matter how tightly you hold on. And whoever relies upon Allah, He is sufficient for them. Quran 65:3. Maybe you prayed for guidance without realizing that guidance often comes as separation. You asked Allah to protect your heart, and He did. By removing the very person you thought you couldn't live without. It doesn't feel like protection now, but one day it will. Sometimes the pain you feel today is the answer to the dua you made years ago. You asked Allah for happiness. He's removing what was hurting you. You asked Allah for peace. He's pulling you away from chaos. You asked Allah for closeness to Him. He's detaching you from what distracted you from Him. Right now, your chest is heavy. Your heart feels fragile. Your world seems quieter without them. But in that quiet, there's space for something beautiful. The nearness of Allah. The people you lose create room for the one who never leaves. And we are closer to you than your jugular vein. Quran 50:16. Your Rabb has never left you. through every heartbreak, every unanswered call, every silent night, He's been right there. And He knows what breaks you. He knows what heals you. And sometimes they are the same thing. Right now, you think you've lost everything, but one day you will see that Allah removed them to make space for something far better, a love that doesn't fade, a friend who doesn't leave, a blessing that doesn't betray, a connection that leads you back to Him. You haven't been abandoned, you've been chosen. And one day, when Allah sends you the people who are meant for your soul, you'll understand why He removed the ones who weren't. You'll whisper softly with tears falling down your cheeks, Ya Allah, You always knew what I didn't. Thank You for saving me. Sometimes Allah removes someone quietly, no fights, no warnings, no explanations. One day they're there, and the next they're gone. You're left holding memories that feel heavier than your chest can carry. And you sit there asking, why, Ya Allah? Why would You let this person walk away? Why give me something so beautiful only to take it back? But my dear, listen closely. Not every loss is a punishment. Some losses are protection in disguise. Perhaps you dislike a thing and it is good for you. Quran 2:216. Sometimes Allah pulls someone away because their role in your story is over. Their purpose has been served. Their lesson has been delivered. Their time in your life is complete. And if He allowed them to stay, they would hold you back from the person you are meant to become. I know it doesn't feel like that right now. Right now it feels like betrayal. It feels like being abandoned. It feels like the ground beneath you has been ripped away. But what if one day you'll look back and realize that their absence was the very thing that saved your heart? Because not everyone is meant to walk into the next chapter of your life. Some people were only meant to guide you to the door, not walk through it with you. And that's okay. Think about it. The person you thought you couldn't live without, you're still breathing without them. The friend you thought you'd never lose, life continues even after they've gone. The bond you thought was unbreakable, Allah broke it gently so He could replace it with something stronger, purer, and better for your soul. And whoever relies upon Allah, He is sufficient for them. Quran 65:3. Sufficient, more than enough. Always, you don't need everyone you lose because you still have Allah. And the one who removes is the same one who replaces. The one who writes endings also writes beginnings, and His plans are always better than yours. Sometimes Allah delays replacing what He took away because He wants you to heal first. He wants you to learn how to stand on your own. He wants you to discover your worth without depending on someone else's validation. He wants you to build your heart around Him alone, because when you love Allah first, you'll never fear losing anyone again. This pain you feel right now is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a better one. You're just in the middle of the chapter where Allah is clearing space in your life for something far greater. The tears you're shedding today are watering the ground where your future blessings will bloom. One day you will meet the people who were written for your soul all along. The friend who loves you purely for the sake of Allah. The partner who brings you closer to Jannah. The people who walk beside you, not because they need you, but because Allah placed love between your hearts. And when you meet them, you'll understand why the others had to leave. And He will replace them with people who love Him and whom He loves. Quran 5:54. Until that day comes, don't chase what Allah has removed. Don't keep knocking on doors He has gently closed. Don't keep holding on to hands He has already released from yours. Trust His wisdom more than your longing. Trust His plans more than your pain. Trust His replacements more than your memories, because what Allah takes away was never meant to stay, and what's written for you is already on its way. One day you'll look back at this heartbreak and whisper softly, Ya Allah, You saved me, and I didn't even know it. And your heart will finally understand that every person who left made space for the ones who were always meant to stay. You are not being punished, you are being protected. You are not forgotten, you are being prepared. And when Allah finally sends you the people who are written to walk with you, you will realize everything you lost was replaced with something better than you ever imagined. When Allah opens a door you didn't knock on, there will come a moment in your life when everything you prayed for feels unanswered. Every door you knocked on stayed closed. Every plan you made collapsed before your eyes. Every dream you chased ran further away. and you sat there alone in the quiet of your room, thinking to yourself, maybe my du'as are not accepted. Maybe Allah has forgotten me. Maybe this is all I deserve. But my dear, listen carefully. One day when you least expect it, a door will open. Not the one you cried in front of, not the one you begged Allah to unlock, not the one you planned your entire life around. It will be a door you didn't even know existed, and He provides for him from where he does not expect. Quran 65:3. You will stand there blinking in disbelief, your heart trembling, because you'll realize something beautiful. While you thought life was falling apart, Allah was silently rearranging everything. Behind the curtain, this is how Allah works. Quietly, perfectly, lovingly. He answers prayers you've forgotten you made. He fulfills du'as you whispered years ago and stopped believing in. He blesses you in ways you never even thought to ask for, because His mercy is bigger than your imagination. Sometimes you think the door's staying closed. I mean, Allah isn't listening. But in reality, it's proof He's preparing something better, something you never planned for, something you never saw coming, something beyond what you even knew to desire. And when that unexpected door finally opens, you'll feel it deep in your chest. This was written for me. You won't have to beg for it. You won't have to chase it. You won't have to lose yourself to keep it. It will come gently as if carried by angels and land in your life exactly when you're ready to receive it. Indeed, the mercy of Allah is near to the doers of good. Quran 7:56. But here's the thing, sometimes Allah doesn't give you what you were asking for because He wants to give you something better than you knew to ask for. You begged for a small blessing, but Allah was preparing something greater. You cried for one specific plan, but He was writing a story. That makes your old plans look small. And one day you will see the wisdom. Right now you're frustrated, you're tired of waiting, you're tired of trying, you're tired of hoping for doors that never open. But my dear, remember this, Allah is not ignoring you. He is saving you from settling for less than what He has written. Think about it, the dua you made years ago, the one you thought was forgotten, suddenly gets answered in a way so perfect, so precise, you can't help but cry. You realize that if Allah had answered you back then, you would have received a blessing you weren't ready to hold. So He made you wait. He strengthened your heart. He shaped your character. He healed your wounds. And when the time was right, He opened the door you didn't even knock on. Indeed, with hardship comes ease. Quran 94:6. The ease always comes, always. But it doesn't always come through the doors you expect. Sometimes it comes from places you never imagined, and sometimes it arrives through people you've never met. Sometimes it unfolds in ways your mind couldn't have planned, even if it tried, because Allah is not limited by your imagination. When He gives in ways that make you drop to your knees in sujood, whispering through tears, Ya Allah, I didn't even know to ask for this, and you still gave it to me. That's how deeply He loves you. And your Lord says, call upon me, I will respond to you. Quran 40:60. You've been calling, you've been waiting, and you've been wondering if He hears you. And He does. Every word, every sigh, every silent dua you made through tears, only He saw. Not a single one is wasted. One day you'll stand in front of an unexpected blessing and realize something beautiful. Allah didn't just give you what you asked for, He gave you better than what you dared to hope for. There will come a day when you realize why every door you wanted stayed closed, and it will happen the moment Allah opens the one you never even knew existed. You'll stand there frozen in disbelief, and your heart will tremble softly, because deep down you'll know this is not coincidence, this is qadr. This is what was written for you long before you ever knew how to ask for it. And it is He who creates whatever He wills. When He decrees a matter, He only says to it, be, and it is. Quran 3:47. While you were crying at night thinking Allah was silent, He was actually busy arranging things you didn't even know you needed. He was preparing people you haven't met yet. He was shaping opportunities that you haven't seen yet. He was writing a chapter you couldn't imagine yet. Sometimes you think you're waiting on blessings, but the truth is your blessings are waiting on you. They are waiting for you to become the person who can hold them without breaking. They are waiting for you to heal from wounds that would ruin them if they came too soon. They are waiting for your faith to deepen enough so you don't mistake the gift for the giver. That's why Allah makes you wait. That's why He delays. That's why He keeps certain doors closed. Not because you're unworthy, but because He loves you too much to let you arrive unprepared. And when the time comes, you won't have to fight for the door, you won't have to chase it, you won't have to beg. It will open gently. It will welcome you in silently, and it will feel like home in a way your soul recognizes instantly. And Allah is the best of planners. Quran 8:30. This is the kind of blessing you don't have to explain. It fits, it flows, it feels effortless, because what is written for you was designed to meet you exactly where you are meant to be. Imagine this. You've spent years praying for a certain job, a certain person, and a certain dream, but nothing worked. And then one day a message arrives. An opportunity lands in your lap. A door you didn't even know existed swings open without warning, and you stand there whispering, Ya Allah, I didn't even ask for this, but you still gave it to me. That's who Allah is. Al-Wahhab, the one who gives without being asked. And He gave you of all that you asked Him. And if you tried to count Allah's blessings, you could never number them. Quran 14:34. Sometimes the most beautiful blessings are the ones you didn't even see coming. Because while you were focused on the doors you thought you needed, Allah was building a palace, and behind one you didn't even notice. And one day, when you step through it, you'll understand the delays, the detours, and the heartbreaks. You'll see how every no was actually a bigger yes. You'll realize how perfectly Allah rearranged everything for this exact moment. And you'll fall into sujood, whispering through your tears, Ya Allah, you gave me more than I asked for, more than I deserved, more than I imagined. Indeed, the mercy of Allah is vast. Quran 7:156. My dear, don't be afraid of closed doors. Don't fear unanswered du'as. Don't lose hope when plans don't go the way you dreamed, because the door you're crying for today might lead to pain tomorrow, and the door Allah opens for you tomorrow might lead to joy you can't even comprehend right now. This is what it means to trust Him, to believe that even when life feels delayed, your blessings are never late. To know that even when you feel stuck, your destiny is still moving quietly behind the scenes. To remember that your Rabbi has already written, the moment the right door opens, and when it does, not a single thing in this world can keep it closed. And whoever relies upon Allah, He is sufficient for them. Quran 65:3. One day you will smile at how perfectly everything came together. You will understand why Allah kept you waiting, why He said no to things you thought you couldn't live without, why He broke your heart only to rebuild it stronger, softer, wiser, and you'll whisper softly with tears in your eyes, Alhamdulillah. Ya Allah, you gave me better than I prayed for. When Allah redirects you through pain you don't yet understand. There are moments in life when everything shatters at once. The plans you built collapse. The dreams you cherished fall apart. The people you thought would stay forever, like walk away without warning, and you're left holding pieces of a life you no longer recognize. You wake up every morning, but it feels heavier than yesterday. You smile in front of people, but inside you are carrying storms no one knows about. And in the silence of the night, you whisper through trembling lips, Ya Allah, why me? Why this pain? Why now? But my dear, listen carefully. This pain is not random. This heartbreak is not meaningless. This storm is not here to destroy you. This is redirection. This is Allah moving you away from what would harm you towards what will heal you. Even if you can't see it yet, but perhaps you hate a thing and it is good for you. And perhaps you love a thing and it is bad for you. Allah knows while you do not know. Quran 2:216. Right now you see loss, but Allah sees protection. Right now you see delays, but Allah sees perfect timing. Right now you see endings, but Allah sees beginnings. You can't even imagine yet. Sometimes Allah writes a different story for you than the one you were planning, not to punish you, but to save you. He closes doors you were desperate to enter because what's behind them would have broken you. He removes people you thought were permanent because their hearts were never meant to walk into your next chapter. He delays blessings you've been praying for because the version of you right now isn't ready to hold them yet. And yes, it hurts because right now you don't see the wisdom. You only feel the loss. You only see what's missing. You only know the pain of watching everything change while you're still standing in the ruins. But what feels unbearable today will one day be the very thing you thank Allah for. Indeed, with hardship comes ease. Quran 94:6. The ease will come, and it always does. But sometimes Allah lets your heart break so He can rebuild it softer, wiser, and stronger. Sometimes He takes away what you thought you needed so He can give you what your soul was always searching for. Sometimes He makes you walk through pain because there are lessons you can only learn in the dark before He brings you into the light. Think about this. A wound has to open before it can heal. And sometimes your heart has to shatter before it can carry the blessings written for you. That heartbreak you're crying over, and it's not your ending, it's the crack through which Allah's light will enter your life. Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. Quran 24:35. Right now you may feel forgotten, but you're not. You may feel abandoned, but you're not. You may feel like no one sees your pain, but your Rabb sees every tear, every sigh, and every thought. You've never spoken aloud. He is closer to you now than you've ever been to anyone, and we are closer to you than your jugular vein. Quran 50:16. Every time you whisper His name, He hears you. Every time you fall apart in sujood, He gathers your pieces quietly. Every time you break, He is rebuilding you in ways you cannot see yet. And one day you will look back on this season of pain and whisper softly, Alhamdulillah, Ya Allah, you saved me through the very thing I thought was destroying me. But until that day comes, hold on, breathe, be patient with your healing. Stop blaming yourself for the doors that closed. Stop comparing your journey to theirs. Stop thinking you've been left behind. You haven't been left behind. You've been set apart. Because where Allah is taking you, not everyone can come. And whoever relies upon Allah, He is sufficient for them. Quran 65:3. There will come a day when everything makes sense. You'll see why that person left. You'll understand why that plan failed. You'll know why every delay was part of His mercy. And on that day, your heart will whisper softly, it was always you, Ya Allah, always you guiding me, always you protecting me, always you loving me through what I didn't understand. Sometimes Allah rewrites your story in ways you don't understand. You thought you'd spend forever with them, but they left. You thought that plan would define your life, but it collapsed. You thought that dream would finally bring you peace, but it never came true. And now, you're standing in the ruins, holding unanswered prayers in your hands and wondering quietly, why me? Why this pain? Why now? But my dear, what if this pain is not punishment but protection? What if Allah broke your heart today to save it from shattering completely tomorrow? What if the path He pulled you away from was leading you somewhere your soul was never meant to go? What if this heartbreak is the doorway to the greatest blessing you haven't even imagined yet? And it may be that you dislike a thing while it is good for you. Quran 2:216. You see, Ishi, pain has a language. Sometimes Allah speaks through it. When you've been too distracted to listen, He whispers to your heart gently but firmly, this is not where you belong. This is not what I wrote for you. I have something better. And while you can't see it now, one day you will. Right now, it feels like everything is falling apart. But behind the scenes, everything is falling into place. There are blessings being prepared for you right now that you haven't even imagined. People who will love you without conditions, opportunities that will align perfectly with your purpose, doors that will open without you knocking. But to make space for them, Allah first has to clear what was never meant to stay. I know, it hurts to let go. It hurts when someone you loved deeply is no longer in your life. It hurts when the plan you worked so hard for crumbles overnight. It hurts when the prayers you begged for stay unanswered. But my dear, Allah is not ignoring you. He's protecting you in ways you cannot see. Indeed, Allah is with the patient. Quran 2:153. Patience here doesn't just mean waiting. It means trusting Him, even when the waiting feels endless. It means believing that this pain has purpose, that this heartbreak has meaning, that this silence is not absence, it's preparation. Sometimes Allah hides your blessings until you become the person who can hold them without breaking. He heals your wounds so you don't bleed on what's meant to love you. He strengthens your faith so success doesn't pull you away from Him. He humbles your heart so you recognize the giver more than the gift. And He found you lost and guided you Quran 93:7. Think about that. You've been here before, haven't you? Times when you thought you'd never heal, and yet you did. Times when you thought you'd never move on, and yet you did. Times when you thought life had ended, and yet here you are, still breathing, still hoping, still standing. This is proof that Allah never leaves you. You may not see it now, but one day you'll look back at this season of pain and whisper softly through your tears, Ya Allah, you were protecting me all along. Right now you're focused on what you lost, but Allah is focused on what He's about to give you. Right now you're asking why, but one day you'll be saying Alhamdulillah. Right now you feel like this storm will never end, but Allah has already written the rainbow on the other side. Indeed, with hardship comes ease. Quran 94:6. One day it will make sense. The person who left wasn't meant to stay. The plan that failed wasn't meant to succeed. The dream that shattered wasn't meant to complete you. Because Allah is not just replacing what you lost, He's rebuilding you into someone greater, stronger, softer, and closer to Him. My dear need, don't lose hope. Your story isn't over. You are not forgotten. You are being rewritten by the one who writes destinies perfectly. And when He finally brings you to the place He's been leading you, you'll whisper softly with tears of gratitude running down your face, Ya Allah, now I understand. Now I see what you were saving me for. Alhamdulillah for every pain. That led me back to you.